Welcome to another video. In this video also, we are gonna learn factorizing quadratic expressions. Let's have a look. The big title is factorizing monic quadratics. So monic means, this is quadratic expression, and then if the expression contains 1x squared, so when a equals 1, then it's called a monic quadratic trinomial. What does trinomial mean? Trinomial is like just, you can see just ax squared plus bx plus c. So there are 3 terms, so that's why it's called like trinomial. So like binomial is like x plus ax plus b. This is binomial. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, factorizing is our topic. And I think it's really helpful if you think about some rectangles. And this could be really a useful tool to have a firm grasp of factorizing quadratics. Let's have a look. We want to find the area of this rectangle. Then we know like just this one, x plus h in this case, and this length, x plus f, and if we just multiply them, then we get the area. So in this case, x plus f and x plus h, this is the area. But we have another way to find the area. That is just, you can see this like picture, then like you see what I mean. This square and rectangle and rectangle and rectangle, if you combine those areas, then that's also the same as this whole rectangle. So like we are kind of trying to show this area in 2 ways. One is just, one side times one side, and the other one is divide this area into 4 areas, and then we are gonna like combine these 4 areas. Yeah. So another way to do that is like x squared. This is the area of this first square, and fx, because this is f here, this is x, and this is h. So in this case, this is hx, fx, and this one is fh. So you can see here. So yeah, this is another way to understand this factorizing monic quadratics. Like why those two are same? Well, we could just expand these brackets, then we know they are the same. But it might be easier like if you understand this picture, this like whole picture of rectangle, and we can apply this to like real questions like this, like x squared plus 7x plus 12. So there are 2 ways to show this big rectangular area. So like x, 4, x, and 3. So here you get 3x and 4x, and here 12, you can see. So like if you add them together, so x squared, 4x, and 3x, and then 12. So one thing that I want to stress here is these 2 are like terms. So you can just, simply calculate like 3 plus 4. In this case, like 3 plus 4 here, that's how you get 7x. Yeah, 7x, cool. But I know like you're not gonna, thinking through this process when you just factorize one, monic quadratic trinomial. But this is maybe, useful like if you remember this rectangle and then see the picture. Yeah, so that's how we did this last time. And like 7x plus 12, this is basically exactly the same as the rectangle like we just did. Yeah, so like what we did was find a pair of number. And why is it a pair of number? Because if you think about the rectangle, it's like 1 is x, and this will be a square, and then 1, 2, and 3. So x, and we don't know this number. But we know this is 12, like in this case, because 12 is here, and we know like this should come here. Like have a look at this one. Like this is the only number. This is the only constant in this expression. So we know like this times this, we get 12. And this will be x squared. So like now we only have 7x left. So like how to find this 7? Then we have to think about like numbers that, you know, can multiply to give 12. Like this times this, then we get 12. And then we don't know like what are these, but if we add them together, then we get 7. That's actually what we've done so far. Like in the last video, I just told you how to just find a pair of numbers, then add up to 7, and then, you know, multiply to give 12, and then like it's just 3 and 4. And then if you think about like this square, then this rectangle thing, then it might be helpful. Yeah, and then yeah, let's just go over 2 more examples. So like this one, I think we've already done this, and this one, x squared minus 3x minus 4. So we are trying to find the pair of number. When you add them together, then you get negative 3. And then if you multiply, then you get negative 4. So there are not many numbers that can make, you know, they can multiply to give negative 4. So like basically 1, 4, and 2, 2. And then probably like put negative like one of them. And then think about ways to make negative 3, like by just adding them. So that's how you get positive 1 and negative 4. Then like if you multiply them together, then you get negative 4. If we just add them, like 1 minus 4, then you get negative 3. So that's how you just factorize this expression, x plus 1 and x minus 4. Like I said, if you are not sure, then expand this expression, then see if you can get this one. Another thing that I want to cover like in this video, like real quick, is why do we do this? Actually, it is like maybe like in the future you're gonna learn equations, quadratic equations, and there we want to know like something times something equals 0. If you see this kind of expression, then it is way easier to find, I don't know, to know like whatever you want to know. What does that mean? Let's just compare these two cases. One is a plus b equals 0, and the other one is ab equals 0. When you know this information, this is not really useful, I think, because this, yeah, you can maybe change this expression and you get like a equals minus b. Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing, but it's like really hard to pin down the values. But if you see ab equals 0, then it basically means this has to be a equals 0 or b equals 0. So it has to be either a equals 0 or b equals 0. So this information could be really useful. So like that's why we are changing sums into products. So like we just change this one into x plus 1, x plus 4. X minus 4. And imagine this is 0, and we want to find the value of x, like, you know, to satisfy this equation. Then if you know this one, it's like really hard to know, like, so what? It's like x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0. It doesn't, you know, it's like really difficult like to know anything from this equation. But if you know that x plus 1 times x minus 4 equals 0, then while these two are perfectly the same, by just changing the form, now we know either x equals -1 or 4. Why? Because it should be either x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 4 equals 0. Yeah, we are gonna cover this like thoroughly, maybe next video or like next video. Yeah, so like don't worry too much about it, and yeah, thanks for watching.